Welcome to this explainer. We're jumping right in today to unpack the brand new platform update for Claude Enterprise, specifically the August 11, 2026 release. We're going to focus entirely on how this update bridges an absolutely critical data governance gap for administrators. Honestly, this isn't just some minor patch. It's a fundamental shift in enterprise data oversight. If you're the one managing compliance, audit trails, or internal data security, well, you're definitely going to want to pay close attention, because this really changes the game for how you handle organizational oversight. So, let's dive into it.
Okay, let's start with a really fundamental question. Where is your AI data living right now? As an enterprise admin, it is so crucial to take a hard look at the potential blind spots in your compliance tracking. I mean, we're currently seeing this massive shift in how people actually work, right? These incredibly powerful AI tools are migrating directly onto employee machines, rather than just living safely in a centralized web browser. And that raises a massive data governance challenge for IT leaders who are just trying to keep tabs on everything their teams are doing. Historically, we've had pretty established visibility into cloud's managed cloud environments. You could track activity programmatically, and it was relatively straightforward. But now, we're facing a completely new frontier: local sessions. Up until now, this was a massive tracking gap. I mean, think about it. If an employee was doing highly sensitive AI-assisted work directly on their laptop, pulling that data back into your centralized compliance systems was basically impossible. It essentially left organizations wide open to these totally unseen intellectual property risks.
Actually, just to make sure we're all on the exact same page here, let's formally define what we mean. Local sessions are simply sessions running on a user's own machine, as opposed to being hosted in the cloud. Think about Claude's collaborative product, Cowork, or the AI-assisted coding environment, Claude Code. When your engineers are running these powerful tools directly on their own hardware, that's a local session. And until this platform update, auditing that on-device activity was basically a giant missing piece of the enterprise puzzle.
And that brings us to the core of the August 11th release. The big headline addition here is local session transcripts for Cowork and Claude Code. Through the Compliance API, enterprise administrators now have programmatic access to actually retrieve full transcripts of these local sessions. The big takeaway here? That AI-assisted work happening directly on an employee's machine is finally fully auditable. It pulls all that on-device activity right into the light, effectively closing the loop on any potential intellectual property leaks.
So how does it actually work? Well, Anthropic added 3 specific new beta endpoints to the Compliance API that basically lets you drill down step by step. It's kind of like zooming in on a map. First, you hit the main endpoint and get this 10,000-foot view, a complete organization-wide list of all local sessions. Second, by appending a specific session ID, you unlock the metadata. Exactly who ran it, when they ran it, all those key identifiers. And finally, if you just add /messages to that endpoint, boom, you fetch the full message-level transcript of that specific session. You can drill down from a macro organizational view all the way to a micro transcript view in just 3 logical programmatic steps.
Section 1. Frictionless authentication. No new credentials required. Now, I know what almost every IT administrator watching this is thinking right now. You're probably saying, great, another set of credentials I have to manage, rotate, and get approved. But honestly, that's the best part of this entire update. Accessing this new local session data requires absolutely no new credentials. None. It uses the exact same compliance access key you already have in place, and it relies on the exact same read compliance user data scope your team has already configured. Because it leverages your existing framework, there's no new approval process to bottleneck you. That means zero downtime for security reviews. You can literally start pinging these new beta endpoints today with your current setup.
Section 2. Bonus update. The workspace identification header. Let's step away from local audits for just a second, because there is a fantastic bonus update in this release that solves a totally different administrative headache. Separately from the transcripts, Anthropic added a brand new response header to the Claude API, Anthropic Workspace ID. Moving forward, every single API response is going to include the specific identifier. But you might be wondering, why does a single line in a header actually matter to your daily operations?
Well, for teams running multiple workspaces, you already know that debugging routing behavior used to be incredibly tedious. This new header resolves to an identifier prefixed with WRKSPC, and it even includes resolutions to your organization's default workspace. So, say you're trying to figure out exactly which workspace handled a given call, maybe an API key or a token is bouncing around your infrastructure in ways you didn't expect, this header makes tracing it incredibly straightforward. It's a pretty small technical addition, but it's realistically going to save your engineering teams hours of administrative troubleshooting.
Ultimately, both of these updates, the local session transcripts and the new workspace header, are fundamentally about giving you total enterprise visibility and control without slowing your teams down for even a second. If you're an administrator responsible for data governance, these tools were built exactly for you. To dig into the plain English documentation and get the full manual on all of Claude's enterprise features, you'll definitely want to head over to claudemaster.net.
I want to leave you with one final, provocative thought to chew on today. As AI tools move directly onto employee devices, is your compliance strategy truly ready to follow them? The August 11th API update makes sure your technical tools are ready, but your internal policies need to keep pace too. Think about how you can integrate these new local session transcripts into your audit trails this week so you aren't left in the dark. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep pushing for better, more transparent data governance.